Hello, my good peeps, and welcome to Domesticated Me 2.0. I'm Nay, your host, and I got a question. How optimistic are you? And if you're saying to yourself right now, well, I'm not that optimistic, can you be open to optimism just for a short moment while we're together? It's going to be about 15 minutes. You can hang with me for 15 minutes, right? All right. Come on, everybody. And I want to start off by reading you something. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope. Go ahead, Helen Keller. She said that optimism is the faith that leads to your achievement. And there is nothing that can be done without hope. Because once you get that thought, the hope comes in. Once you get that thought, once you send your desire out, whatever that desire is, into the universe, into the atmosphere, you speak the words, then comes the hope. That's the optimism. Now, I want to say from the very beginning, so that I won't forget to tell you guys, that optimism, you do notice your problems. Like, you know that they're there. You can see them. You recognize them. They're there. But you also recognize the solution to your problems. You also know that and believe that you can overcome the difficulty in whatever that problem, that issue is. So optimism is not being blind to what's happening, but it is vibrating on a certain scale to help you get through that thing. So that you know that beyond the clouds, there is actually some sunshine and some ray, right? And so, what kind of person do you consider yourself? I want you to ask yourself this question. Do you consider yourself a person with the glass half full, or do you consider yourself with the glass half empty? Now, I asked one of my friends this question in preparation for this particular episode on optimism, and he tells me, you know what? Just give me the glass. I dubbed him the super optimist because he said, give me the glass. I'm going to get it full. My cup is going to run over. I don't care what the situation is. I understand and I believe that it gets better. I said, all right then. All right then. So I want to read you one other passage out of the book. Hebrews 11:1 tells us, faith is things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Optimism. So this is a new age. So I want to stop you right there for all my domesticated Christians before you say, I don't want to go no further. She's talking about something new age. No, it's in the book. Faith is things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Optimism in our book. So when you're So to be optimist is really to look at things in its perspectives and keeping the same scale throughout until it is manifested. Now, I asked a good friend in preparation for this particular episode another question about optimism. And I said, well, is it, you say that that you're very optimistic, and you say that, the glass is half full for you. How is it when you are being optimistic for something you need versus something you want? Said, okay. So optimism, to be honest, optimism becomes much more difficult to handle. I need to pay my rent versus I want to go to the concert. So, and in the time when you are operating in that optimism where you know there is need and you're on this scale, and your optimism scale is positive and negative. That is your optimism scale. And then a lot of us just kind of fit somewhere in the middle of that, because once again, once we send the desire out, it goes out hot. It goes out with so much excitement and so much encouragement that that thing is yours at that very moment. But what normally happens is you don't stay hot on that thing. If you're an optimist, you might get somewhere in the middle because you're salivating back and forth, and usually that's on the hows, the wins, and and the whys. Why is it taking so long? How is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? All that stuff that is really none of your business. But because you're doing that, it takes you from one side of the scale, which is the high vibration scale, to somewhere in the middle. And then a lot of times you just say, forget it all together, and you end up way on the other side of the scale. And it just holds up that desire that you sent out into the atmosphere, because abundance is ours. Abundance is ours. And so it's all about where you're vibrating at. And so, but during optimism, the reason why you kind of got to stand, even if it's for something you need, is because it does build resilience. It gives you grit. It prepares you, and the knowledge of the time in the journey that you're gaining while you're just sitting and resting in your optimism and staying very focused in that. Stay busy, stay focused, and making sure that as you move along in your optimism journey, for whatever this thing is that you sent out, or whatever this thing is that you have faith for to return and manifest, you gotta just kind of keep it right there. Control your perspectives. It might not just be time right now. Perfect timing for the things you need, you just don't understand. I got some story times on that too. And remember, like, trouble don't last always, guys. When the issues and the troubles and your situations is low, make sure your spirit is high. Make sure that your faith and your joy is up there really high. I don't care if it's your finances, your relationships, your partnerships, your friendships, your situationships, your money ships, whatever it is that you're having. If you maintain your optimism vibration to a certain level, it is surely coming through. It is surely coming through. And as you contemplate ways to keep your vibration right, I'm going to tell you the main thing is to ensure that your belief statements are consistent, my good friends. Ensure your belief statements are consistent. Because if you driving an old clunker and whatever the case may be, and you put something out there in the atmosphere for a brand new one, the first thing you're going to do is make sure you're appreciating what you're driving. It's getting you from A to B. That is really something to be grateful for. Now, the other one, yes, that's your desire and what you want. And so for that desire one, the next thing you need to always do is to make sure your belief statements are in line. You can't say, oh, I'm not going to get it, or it's going to be too much for me. You got to literally make sure that whatever desire you sent out, that your belief statement is in line with that. It has to be. Because once again, that means that even if you're optimistic at a certain point, it'll move you back to the middle, because you're not lining your affirmations and your statements up with the desire. Your belief statement has to be lined up with the desire, my good friends. Now, if you understand the scale, and if you understand what the assignment is, your assignment is only to vibrate at on optimism at a high vibration. And try your best not to move towards the middle. Try your best not to be all the way on the other side. Throwing yourself a pity party about why it didn't come down, why it hasn't happened yet, and this type of thing. There's no time frame for stuff, only time frames that you put on it. Your reality, you'll put a time frame on the time frame that you're able to connect with your desire. You want a brand new car, you're going to give yourself a year. Well, that's you giving yourself a year. Stay out of that business. And just be in the business of holding to your faith. Vibrating your faith at a certain level that you're unmovable. Your peace, your joy surpasses all understanding. That type of thing, okay? Now, that's my optimism topic for today and my tip for today. Now, you know what I want you to do. I need you to get in the comments because I love twofers, because you're going to tell me something that I'm going to be able to take home too. I just told you something. Hopefully you're able to take some of that home. But you got something for me too that I could take home and I could put in my toolbox. So that's what I want to hear. And if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing some good things on here, including our new series, guys. HR Chronicles, all about human capital. We're going to dig into that. And we're going to do some really good topics on the podcast for HR Chronicles. So stay tuned for that very first episode dropping soon. And then if you really, really like it, how about you share to your friends? Because you know your friends will probably like it too. And you can't forget to like it, because all of those things make you my good peeps. And you know what I want you to do? I want you to make it a great day out there, because it's a great day to make it a great day. Blessings.